you both had like great opening nights. Were there nerves heading into the first game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome back, everybody. Today's guests are Kiki Iriafen and Sonia Citron, two rookies who are already making a ton of noise in the WNBA. Both of them landed in DC after getting drafted 3rd and 4th. They've had something to prove. They're off to a great start. What I think makes them work as teammates is that they're both young, but they're both playing with a maturity and a patience that goes beyond their years. I also think their college experiences has really helped them. They played alongside some top talent. And when you get to the WNBA, that's all you're doing, right? You're just playing alongside all types of great players. And sometimes it just comes down to who can complement who. And I think you're really seeing that in their game. Kiki's been a force in the paint since day one. She's physical, polished, and fearless. Sonia, she's like that steady Eddie two-way guard who just finds a way to get it done. As I mentioned, I've had my eye on both of them for a minute now, watching how they carry themselves, how they compete, how they move off the court too. And so I had to sit down with them, and I was really excited to have this conversation about what it's like stepping into a new league, finding your role, navigating a new city, all of the above. But before that, it's time for Sue's View. Okay, so for this week's Sue's View, we're going to start with A'ja Wilson. She had a huge game last time out, 34 points, 16 rebounds. She shot 75% in a very gutsy win over the Golden State Valkyries. She was assertive from the start. She was really able to punish the Valkyries in the paint. But what I really noticed was her face-up game, her pull-up game, that was working too. And in my experience going against A'ja, she's always going to find a way to get it done in the paint. But when her like from 15 to 18, even from 3, when that's working, I mean, it kind of makes her almost impossible to guard. So it was really nice to see that from A'ja, mainly because the last time the Aces played, it was against the Liberty. They did lose, but A'ja hurt her wrist in that game. So there's a little bit of a question mark on just how that was going. So more than anything, it's just wonderful to see her healthy. You know, it was actually also just a really fun game to watch. The final score was like 102 to 100. So super high scoring. You had Jackie Young close it out for the Aces, hit a bunch of clutch baskets. And then you had the Valkyries, who it wasn't just one player. They had a couple different people make some big plays, but they just stayed in it. Even when they were down like 6 with a minute to go, they still were able to find a way to keep it close. So shout out to them as well. But good to see A'ja back and healthy. All right, next up, we've got Chicago. The Sky had a big win over the Lynx a couple days ago. You know, we're going to get to Angel Reese in a second, who's having like a record-breaking moment right now. But it was also great to see Ariel Atkins break out a bit. She finished that game with 27. You know, just felt like that's a player that they traded for, a player they wanted. So to see her get going, I think is a good sign for the Sky. But you got to take it back to Angel Reese as well as Camila Cardoza. They both had double-doubles as the Sky out-rebounded the Lynx, 45 to 28. Honestly, when I saw that number, my first thought was just like, I don't want to be in the rebounding drills of that Lynx practice. I've been there, I've experienced it. I can only imagine what that's going to be like, especially because they actually play tonight, which is Monday. But like I said, it's great news that the Sky had aerial breakout. But again, you have to talk about Angel Reese right now. She's averaging 13.6 points and 12.8 rebounds on the season, but had a stretch of 6 games where she had at least 15 rebounds. And that's the first WNBA player to ever do that. And the best part, I think, about her performance is, along with her teammates, they're starting to turn all this into wins, right? They're 500 in their last 8 games, and Angel's had a double-double in all of them. And in those 8 games, she's averaging 16.3 points and 15.5 rebounds. So it's a lot to do, but if she can keep that up and they keep turning this into wins, it's obviously a good sign. All right, that is it for Sue's View. Now let's get to the interview. Okay, well, welcome to the show, guys. Thank you for coming on. Real quick, I'm just curious, like, how well did you know each other, if at all? No? Before? Okay.
No.
So 0.
Yeah.
So, like, what were your impressions of each other? How about that?
We
like,
played
prior?
each other our senior year when she
Okay.
was at USC. I was at Notre Dame. And that was the first time that, like,
I ever came, like I think we ever really came across each other, played against each other. Yeah. And even then I feel like that game we didn't really, like I didn't guard her once.
Yeah.
Like we were still like just not.
Yeah, I guess why would you guard each other?
Nothing.
Yeah, almost like get away from me kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so you probably only knew like what you knew from afar.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So something that I've noticed in watching you guys play, and I'm actually really excited to come to the game tomorrow. I haven't seen you play in person yet, either of you. So that'll be fun. What I've noticed in trying to like see like what's going on in DC, like what with you two, like you got off to these great starts, like what's complimenting. And I noticed it in college, but I think I'm seeing it even more in the WNBA, which is you both have like a patience about your games and you both have a maturity to your games. And so I'm curious. Well, first of all, do you agree with that? Is that like
to some extent?
To some extent?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, you're still young, but oh no, you definitely. Which part don't you agree with?
I feel like I'm a very exciting player in terms of like I get super excited when I play. So sometimes I feel like I'm a little sped up. So I feel like for me, I'm still learning this idea of like slow is pro, which is what my coaches always tell me is like once you can like go at your own pace and not get sped up is really when you'll be a pro. So I feel like some games I have it, some games I don't, but that's something that I'm still working on. So for you to say that, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're not finished products.
Yeah.
You're both like babies in this whole career thing. But no, what I see in you, Kiki, is like you'll catch the ball like in a post-up position. Maybe a double comes. Maybe it's just like a little congested. And you're like, I'll kick it right back out. Mm-hmm. Like you're cool with that. And then trying to repost or trying to maybe, come set a ball screen. Whereas I feel like a lot of young post players especially, but honestly all post players, when they get that thing, they like to go up no matter what. So like that to me shows patience. I watched when you went on Candace's show and you guys were breaking some stuff down. There was one spot you were posting up. You told your guard like, no, I need space. Like move. That's patience. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's a maturity. Wait, do you agree?
About Kiki or me?
No, about you.
A little bit, yes.
Okay.
I still think that I can get like a lot better at it, but just like I think I play at my own pace. So to some extent, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're both very humble. So that's also a common ground. Okay. So let's talk about your backgrounds a little bit. Just like where you're from, kind of how you got here. We'll start with you, Sonia. Like from New York, you choose Notre Dame. Why?
I would say the people. It's funny because I was deciding between Notre Dame and Stanford. So there could have been a crossover there. But
and you still didn't know each other then either?
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then I found out that she was contemplating coming to Notre Dame. And I was like, what the? Yeah. Like that could have been something, but it's okay. It happened now.
Just got delayed a little.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it was the people. I talked to Coach Abby when she first got the head coaching job after Muffet retired and all that. And that phone call was like, it sold the deal for me. And yeah, I think Coach Abby is just such a passionate coach and she really had a vision. And I think she sold me on like her wanting me to be part of that vision and really bring Notre Dame back to what it used to be. And it was something I wanted to be a part of.
Do you see any similarities between wanting to be a part of that at Notre Dame, like bringing them back, and then maybe even a little bit with the Mystics?
Yeah, for sure. I didn't think about it, but now that you say that, there's definitely some similarities in just that, like, I think, again, like me and Kiki are part of a vision that the coaching staff and all the staff have. And it's really cool to be a part of, like, to say that you're, like, you have some doing in the team coming back to, what it used to be or just like getting it back on the right track it's really cool.
Yeah. Who, I've heard you talk about being a fan of Sabrina's, maybe even mentioned Candace Parker before, just like her game. It's one thing to be like a fan and like watch and like look up to. Do you think you like modeled your game after those two? Anybody?
Yeah.
Like who have you stolen from?
I don't know if I've really like modeled my game after anybody. I think just from watching, I think maybe inherent, like I've just.
Yeah. Osmosis.
Yes. Like just, taken bits and pieces from people I've watched. And like I said, like Sabrina is somebody where I wouldn't say I like really tried to model my game after her, but just watching her and seeing what she does, like I'll just take things where I'm like, oh, this can really apply to my game and how I feel like and like who I am as a player.
Right. Okay. So Kiki from LA, you chose Stanford. What could have been? We'll never know. You chose Stanford. What I remember from your career there is really not knowing much about you till your junior year. It feels like you hit the scene, right? And then, of course, you chose to transfer to USC. So I'm curious, A, why'd you transfer? But B, like, what do you think you learned at those 2 stops that now has, like, followed you?
Yeah. So kind of as Sonia said, like I was kind of down to Stanford and Notre Dame. So we were just meant to be, honestly. So God just made it happen a little later. But Stanford was just best of both worlds, academics, athletics, legendary GOAT coach in Tara Vanderveer. So I felt like it was a perfect spot for me to just learn, grow, and develop. And it was hard early on because I was behind so many great players. Yeah. But when I look back on it, I feel like that was so perfect for me because I got to learn. I wasn't forced into anything, and I got to kind of take things from them. And then, you know, I graduated early from Stanford, and then I had 1 more year. Tara was retiring. I'm like, okay, I've had some success. I'm from Los Angeles. I want to go back home, play in front of my family, really have a shot to try to win a national championship. So I feel like that was really the deciding factor in going to USC. They have a great core of young girls over there. And just playing with super talented guards, I feel like was something that I wanted to do, which is what really ended up swaying my decision to go to USC and just be closer to family. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a good choice. What do you think happened like from sophomore to junior year? Because that was like a big jump.
That was a huge jump.
Yeah.
I think it was just a shift in my mentality. I was like, this is my junior year. If I don't make something happen, like nothing's really going to happen. It's going to be too late. So I think for me, I always say this, but basketball is like 99% mental and 1% physical. I know I can make a layup. I know I can do these things, but it's really believing it in your mind and believing that you can play at this level. So I did a lot of mental work. So when I went back home in the summer, one of my high school coaches, who's still like in my life to this day, like I would meet with her like almost every day, just work on like mental practices. And then I'd meet with our sports psychologist and just really get my mind in a spot where like I was truly believing myself and having the confidence. So I feel like for the longest, my confidence wasn't where it needed to be in terms of my skill set. And then going into my junior season, I was able to bring that up. And I feel like that's why I was able to have the success that I had.
Yeah. Is that something you still do?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Mental sports psychologist.
Yes.
Yeah.
I work with a mental performance coach that I have now, and like going into the WNBA, I felt like that was super important because you're on a bigger stage, a lot more eyes, and you know there are a lot of expectations. So just making sure my mind was in the right place because I'm playing at the highest level was super important to me. So
I love that. I love that. You already kind of mentioned playing with like really great players, and both of you did in your college days. I also think that's a big part of why you've had the success and impact you've had so far, along with the patience, maturity. You guys are used to playing with top talent. But at the same time, you could argue, you know, for you at Stanford with Cam, then you go to USC, Juju and co. Obviously for you, Hannah, Olivia and co. Obviously there's more than that. But you could kind of argue that it might have changed how people like judged you or like evaluated you. Not judged, like evaluated you coming out. Right? Like people didn't really understand like the impact you could have. And I'm just curious, like flying under the radar a little bit, did that give you motivation coming out of college? Or what was that experience like?
You go ahead.
Okay. I think for me coming into the league, I felt like I didn't have expectations. So that was really helpful. We kind of talked about this too, is like, we're rookies coming in on this team. And like now we know that we're a huge part of this team, but coming in, we're rookies. If we play well, great. If we don't play well, like nobody really expects anything. So I feel like coming in, there was kind of like this low expectation. And I feel like that was something that was helpful for me. It's just like, I got to get my feet wet. I got to make mistakes without it being anything. And then as you get better, of course, comes with expectation, but that's kind of what you play for. You play to be in those big moments, to have those expectations on you. So I feel like for me, that was something that helped my transition coming in, is like, I was kind of under the radar. So whatever I did was just like, oh, that's cool that she could do that.
I mean, by the way, under the radar, like 3rd and 4th pick.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, it was the conversation. You could just kind of, like, it was like you could feel the way people were, speaking about you guys versus whoever. Yeah. It felt very much under the radar. What about you?
Yeah. I mean, I would say the same thing. I think if anything, like, especially in college, I didn't care. Like, if anything, it benefits us. You know what I mean? Like, if you're so worried about, let's say, Liv, Hannah, all these great players, like, go ahead. You know what I mean? Like, I know what I can do. My team knew what I could do. So it was like, again, I think it helped, you know? Because, again, flying under the radar, like, teams don't know, or they do, but, like, you have so many threats, so who are you going to choose to stop? All right, like, that's cool now. Like, I can do my thing. So, if anything, it helped me. And then I think the same thing that Kiki said, like coming into the W, I had no expectations whatsoever. Didn't know how I was going to do, what was going to happen, but just wanted to kind of embrace everything and hopefully have a good year, like hopefully just help the team in any way that we can. And it worked out, and it's continuing to work out. But yeah, really had no expectations. So.
Well, I mean, I'm not joking. I think playing alongside in the WNBA, players can separate themselves with those that can fit on teams. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you have to bring your games, and you guys have. I mean, your stats. It's actually kind of crazy looking at your college stats to now. They're like pretty similar. You guys are like right on pace to like be exactly who you are, and that's a skill. People don't talk about it a lot. Just being able to be consistent and being able to play alongside other great players. So you're already like ahead of the game in that regard. But you're bringing up the draft, or I brought it up. Bringing up the draft, you guys go 3 and 4 respectively. What was the draft experience like? I mean, you had your fits were on point. You guys were tip tops, but like not knowing where you're going to go, having some idea where you're going to go. Mm-hmm. I remember personally, Seattle had the number 1 pick, and I kind of knew it was going to be me, and I wasn't thrilled. I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh, it's so far. I'm an East Coast kid. I was like, this is so far. Obviously, it worked out great. I would not change a thing. Yeah. But initially, you don't know a lot about these teams, about these cities. So I'm just curious, like, what was your vibes heading in?
Yeah, it was definitely a lot. I think, like, leading up to the draft, I was kind of driving myself crazy with, like, where am I going to go? What's going to happen? Mm-hmm. And I had, like, so many conversations with my boyfriend who had got drafted the year before. Mm-hmm. And he was just saying, like, stop worrying about it. Like, 1, you have no control over it. Yeah. 2, God's got you. Like, wherever you're supposed to go, you're going to go. So stop, like, thinking, oh, what if you go here? But same thing, I'm an East Coast kid. Like, what if I go all the way to, you know what I mean? Just different places. It's not that it's bad, but it's definitely scary.
Yeah. I looked at Seattle on the map, and I was like, wow. I don't think you can get further.
Yeah, so, I mean, it was just scary. But I think all in all, just like remembering that I'm going to go where I'm supposed to go and everything will work out, like really helped me. And then like now that I'm sitting here, the way it worked out perfectly. Mm-hmm. Like just like you said, I could not be happier with where I ended up. And I really do believe that I'm in DC for a reason, and I absolutely love it. So
I love that. Yeah. What about you, Kiki?
I would say draft is like organized chaos. Like there's so many components, so many things going on. Yeah. And the day of the draft, like the whole weekend, I was like excited, a little bit nervous. But the day of the draft, I was like, oh my, I felt sick. Like I was so nervous. Like this is like something that you've worked so hard for, and you don't know where you're going, and it's out of your control, which I think is the best part, is like it's out of your control. So there's really nothing that you can do. But then hearing that I got picked by DC, I was really excited in the moment, but I was kind of scared because I'm from California. I've only gone to schools in California.
We're same.
Exactly. Yeah. So going across and being, 3 hours ahead of my family was something that I was really scared about. But from the moment I stepped into DC, like our front office, our coaches, the staff, everybody's been great. So like I truly feel like this is the perfect spot for me. And like I feel like a real adult now. Like I'm away from home, so I have to like learn all these things. I'm paying my taxes. I have to like do 401k. Yeah. So it's like I feel like this is a perfect spot for me to grow up in a sense. Yeah. So I think it happened the way it was supposed to happen.
Yeah, something a lot of people don't talk about is that first. I don't know how it happened for you, but the first meeting, one of the first like business meetings you have with your team, where you have to fill out all those forms. Yes. Did you have someone help you? So for those that don't know, it's like you got to fill out how much you're going to give to your 401k, like all the tax information that you're going to provide. Yep. I was on the phone with my dad. I was like, Dad,
how do I do this?
What is this? Was that like, were you already set up because of your NIL experience?
I mean, at the draft, they kind of had like a whole setup of breaking down the 401k and all of that stuff. And then I think we had individual meetings when we got to the Mystics, and like, here's benefits.
All right, so they hooked you up.
Yeah, you're gonna figure it out yourself.
401k.
I haven't either.
I was gonna say
it needs to be done.
Max that thing out. That's my only advice. You both are speaking so highly of your experience with the Mystics so far, and I don't even think it has anything to do with like the ball and if it goes in the hoop or not. It's just like a feeling and a vibe. So what is it? Like you first get there. What are your first impressions, and what is it about this franchise that's making you feel this way?
I think it's the people. I mean, we're surrounded by amazing people, not only like our teammates, our coaching staff, like she said, our front office, like everybody I think is so bought in. And from the beginning, I think like their belief in us, like I think I've said this in like every interview, but I think
welcome to professional basketball. You have to answer the same questions over and over.
Like we're allowed to do what we do because of the people around us. Like they've really empowered us from the beginning to feel like we can do it, you know, like we're not afraid of going out there and making mistakes. We just play confidently. You know, we know that they drafted us here to do what we do. So like we just go out there with no fear, no, like the coach doesn't get mad at us for making a mistake as long as we're playing hard and doing what we can control. Like that's all that they care about.
So early on, like in the locker room, because coming into this season, right, Mystics make a bunch of moves, get these picks, and it's kind of like, okay, they're trying to build. They're changing things, whole new coaching staff, front office. They're building. I don't know if I would call it rebuilding, but somewhere in there. And I'm just curious. I'm always curious because I've experienced rebuild seasons, and the messaging of the coach, I think, is the most important thing. Front office as well, but that locker room and how you guys are going to enter games, how you're going to feel about yourselves, evaluate yourselves individually and as a team. So I'm just curious how Coach Johnson, do you call him Coach Johnson? Or is it Sydney?
I say coach.
Yeah,
Coach?
I say coach.
Just coach? Okay. So I'm curious how Coach, how he what did he establish from the jump?
Yeah, we have like our 5 pillars, 4 or 5,
habits.
our daily habits. And even from training camp, like we've established them, like sisterhood, getting better every single day, working hard, having humility and joy. Something that's super big on that is like, we're going to have joy, even through the highs and the lows, like we can find joy. And that's something that he always refers to even now. But I think something that I was particularly surprised about during training camp was like how much it was like, we're competing, but we're sisters and there's humility. And I think coming into the league, you're like, training camp is cutthroat and like there's no friends, but we'd like practice hard, go at each other and then be like, let's go get lunch together. Like it was so weird. So I feel like really he set the foundation in terms of like, we're going to go at each other. We're going to compete. But at the end of the day, we're sisters and we love each other and we're working hard for each other. And that's something that you see, like sometimes like I feel like we play with the power of friendship because we just love each other so much. There's really no egos or competition between one another. So I feel like the messaging just from him that he's super bought in to us. He cares about us as people. Like during training camp, he had individual meetings and it was nothing to do with basketball. It was like, who are you as a person? What do you like to do? What makes Kiki Kiki? And I feel like that's something that is really translated and why we're all bought into what he has to say.
Yeah, no, I love that. Yeah. But was training camp hard?
Oh, it was hard.
We definitely got after it.
Yeah.
But it was just like a good balance between, like for example, me and Sim are both guards, so we're gonna go at it. But she's also giving me
she's gonna help you.
Yeah, giving me advice and helping me out. So it wasn't like, oh shit, like I'm not gonna help her because we're competing. Like it was like a good balance of both. Where,
I love
like,
that.
You could just tell, oh, we're gonna get after it, but we're all here for the same reason.
Yeah. Interestingly, that's also been my experience. Like my whole career, whether I was young and I was you guys, or then I became old and I was slim. Just part of it. Talk to me in 10 years. So there are, of course, some stories that aren't like that, but it is nice for that to be your first experience. But now I kind of want to get into the training camp, like nitty gritty, and just what immediately jumped out to you guys as like, oh man, I have a lot to learn. Like what areas, was there something specific? Because I know training camp, especially with a new team and a new coach, it's so much teaching. It's like teaching the whole time, basically.
Yeah, I would say we also had extra teaching just because our team was so young that it wasn't like we have so many rookies and younger players that like we really did have to teach like every day.
Like they built in like classroom time.
Really?
And all of us before practice, all the rookies are watching film and going over stuff.
It was like 45 minutes of just classroom before practice even started. But I would say the hardest thing was definitely just like concepts, like especially defensive concepts. I remember thinking like, wow, this was like not allowed in college.
Like do you have like an example?
I gotta think.
Like
tagging the roller.
Okay.
At Notre Dame, like if you absolutely did not tag the roller.
Really?
Yes. Like just little things like that where I like had to stop myself. Like, oh shoot, like Coach Ivy would yell at me right now for this, but this is actually what they want me to do.
Yeah, you gotta like reprogram.
And just like reprogramming my mind with just different.
Well, fun little fact on that one: if you start in, you only have to go out
Yeah, that's
if you start out, then you got to go in and out. It's like 10 extra steps. Tagging the roller, for those that are listening, is basically in a pick and roll. When the roller rolls, if there's backside, usually a guard is help side. They like you to get in there and kind of give a little something so the roller isn't like so smooth, direct line to the basket. But then you got to close back out on your player if they're the one coming around. So it can be hard. So start in, then go out. Little tip. But yeah, I'd imagine, because the college game and the WNBA game, even just by the rules, is different. So I'd imagine there was a lot to learn. Kiki, is there anything that that jumps out to you?
Defensive
You're like everything?
3 seconds.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big that
You're a lot
like
of tiptoeing, getting in, getting out.
At Stanford, I was in drop coverage most of the time, so I was just sitting in the paint.
Okay.
And then at SC, they wanted me to play up a little bit more, but I was still kind of in that middle ground. But I cannot sit in the I have to get out. So I feel like that's something that I've been learning, and sometimes I'm just like jumping back and forth. I feel like, but I feel like that was the biggest shift. It was like, this is actually a thing. Defensive 3 seconds.
It's like another thing to think about. Yeah.
So that was it for me.
But you probably like it on offense, right?
Oh, for sure. I love it on offense.
A lot of space. Yeah. So did anything come, those sound like some of the, just learning curves.
Yeah.
Did anything come easy? Where it basically, actually, let me reframe. What translated from college? Like you came in, you're like, oh, this makes sense.
I would say, for me, I think the way that I play, I love cutting, I love moving, and our offense really translates well for me because it's a lot of cutting, it's a lot of move the ball, switch sides, let's pick and roll, like just things like that. And like we like to run in transition, like I love doing that. So I'd say that came pretty, like it was a good transition for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like for me, just running the floor, I feel like that's something that I'm really good at. And just like rebounding and understanding that I can score that way. And I don't necessarily have to like, give me the ball here and do this, obviously early in the season as well. And I had BG guarding me, Stewie, Asia, Aaliyah. I was like, it's going to be pretty tough to score. So I was like, let me just run the floor, get some easy baskets that way. So I feel like that was the easiest transition for me. And just run the floor, get the easy layups and get the rebounds.
Yeah, that's smart. You both had like great opening nights. Were there nerves heading into the first game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What was pregame like? Were you just like in your earphones, just like focused? Were you talking about it?
We like had a conversation about it.
Yeah.
Like we were both really nervous. And I think I was super nervous, but after I heard that Sonia was nervous, I was like, okay, how can I be less nervous so she can be less nervous? But I think it's really helpful to like go through it with somebody else. And like I never felt alone because I'm like, okay, I'm going through it with Sonia, and we're very open about, not struggles, but just like what's going on, how are we feeling? So I was like, okay, I know she has my back, I have her back. But definitely jitters. Like I think our first game was against Atlanta, so I'm like, I have to guard BG. BG's guarding me, Hall of Famer.
We already know what happened over here.
Yeah, welcome.
Got whacked. Yeah.
So I think, but honestly, it was excitement. Like once the ball was tipped.
Yeah, like what calmed you? Like at some point you must have like settled in.
I feel like once we started playing, it was like, oh wait.
I think it's once you make your first basket.
Yeah, which we
made early, then you're like, okay, I'm okay.
Yeah. Like we've been playing this game for our entire lives, so it's we got it. And we also had played Atlanta like the week before.
Yeah,
so we knew them, so there was some level of comfort. Like, okay, we know this team, they know us, but I think just playing definitely, like after the whistle, I think I was good.
Yeah. So you guys, just to give like context, Kiki, you had 14 and 4 rebounds. Sonia, you had 19. But then to me, it's your second game that's even more impressive because you backed it up. So it wasn't just like opening night, excitement, you play well. The next night, Kiki, you had 17 and 14. So first double-double. Let's go. Sonia, you had 15. Do you guys think like you were already gaining some confidence? Like you're always like, okay, I'm kind of getting a feel for this. I know it's early, so I'm not trying to, but like to back it up in game 2.
I would say like it's always nice to do well. That gives you some level of confidence. I think it was after the first couple games though, where I was like, okay, like I can do this. Cause like the first game, it was like maybe my shots were just falling. Like I was lucky. Second game, maybe the same thing happened. But I would definitely say after a couple, like it gives you a little bit of confidence.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think after the second game, I was a little bit more settled in terms of like, okay, I can do this.
Right.
It'll be okay. But it wasn't until I think when we played the Aces and Slim was out, like our whole bench was out. We had to play the whole entire game. I was so sick and like we almost won. Like we played really well that game. I was like, you're fine. Like they're just humans at the end of the day, even though the Aces are amazing team, champions, Olympians. Like our coach was literally like, they have 4 Olympians and we have 4 recent grads. Like that's the dynamic. But I feel like playing against them and seeing how we were able to compete, it's like, okay, you'll be fine. Like it's okay.
Okay. So with like the stellar starts that you guys had, what would you say was the biggest, I can start with you, Kiki, like just the biggest adjustment? Everybody talks about the physicality. I feel like everybody I have on the show at some point, this comes up. So I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what were some of the biggest adjustments? Like what was like, oh man, this is harder than I thought.
I think it's how smart people are, like the basketball IQ. Yeah. And for me, obviously, my position is like some of the best players. So just like going against Stewie, like she would literally tell me like, I'm able to get you on this every single time because of A, B, C, and D. And I'm like, I'm not even thinking about that, but she's already able to see all of that and going against BG and Asia. So I would say the biggest thing is just how smart, like the level that I want to get to and the level that they are at is like how smart they are. Like they don't have to be the fastest on the floor, but like they're able to like play at a pace. They're able to see everything happen before it happens. So I was like, the biggest thing is like the biggest difference is just the level of IQ that they have.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Sonia?
I would say the physicality for sure.
You hold your own though.
Yeah. No.
I feel like you're starting to figure that part out, like how to use your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was like little things that you like, not like blatant physicality. I think it's the little things like when I'm coming off a pin down and they, like, let's say they're holding or they try and top block me last second or just kind of try and get into me so that they get through as well. Just little things like that. Definitely in the beginning, I was like, what am I doing? Like, this is not working out. It worked out a little bit, but it was difficult.
You didn't feel like you could get them off.
Yes. Just like my movement. I was like, oh my goodness, they're everywhere. And then my coaches helped me a lot. Slim helped me a lot. My coaches helped me a lot with just little things to do. And it's like, if they're doing that, then there's an easy way to get around that. Like if they're using their physicality, then set them up or use your body or stop and go, make them foul. It's just like little things like that where I'm like slowly starting to get like the knack of. But
what about off the court? You're adults now, you just said. You're away from home. I mean, you've been away from home, but you're on your own, like for real. What's been the biggest adjustment off the court? So much more downtime and free time. Like you come on the road, I'm sure that was an adjustment too. You get to the trips and they're like, see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our first trip was crazy. Like you
didn't know what to do.
Yeah. I think our coach said like on the bus before we even got out, he was like, all right, see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm like, what about film? What about dinner?
Team dinner, like what's going on? But yeah, that was definitely an adjustment. But it's really cool. Like all this freedom that we have is very nice.
Yeah, you really find yourself.
Yeah.
It is. It's nice. And you get to do what works for you, especially on a game day. Obviously you have pregame and whatnot, but on game days, it's nice. All right, we already talked a little bit about your like welcome to the WNBA moment, but I am curious. So for me, my welcome to the WNBA moment had to do more with just like losing. I remember we lost our first game. And I remember coming in the locker room. I'm fresh off college, like Connecticut. Like we don't lose a lot. You guys don't lose a lot. I come in the locker room. I'm like throwing a water bottle. I'm pissed. I'm like, what the fuck? And everybody's like, where do you want to go to dinner tonight? Like, well, what are our plans tonight? And I was like, wait, what? And that was to me like the welcome moment because it was a totally different mindset. You can't get high with the high, low with the lows, all the cliches you can think of because of the way the season goes and because how close the competition is. So even though I know you got whacked by that BG screen, I'm curious just like at what point did you start to realize like how to operate in this league? Like what's that welcome to the league moment?
You want to go?
Yeah, I don't think I've gotten like a hit by a screen or something like that, but I think the losing was really tough, especially because we were so close to games. And like, I feel like in college, you don't lose a lot. So like when you do lose in college, like your whole day is ruined. So I would be like, I don't even want to do anything. I don't want to go on my phone. I just want to sleep all day. Like I'm so mad.
And everybody's like, you want to go shopping?
Yeah. And I think we were in like Vegas and like, they're like, oh, let's go out. Let's do. I'm like, what are we talking about? Yeah. So I feel like that was just super hard. But the biggest thing, or even a performance, if you're not really happy with your performance, like you can't get so down because you play in 48 hours. And even if you play well, you can't be too high. So I feel like it's really not getting too high or low, as you said, and not just to copy what you said. But I think that was the biggest thing is just like, okay, I'm mad today. And then I got to move on the next day because everything's happening so quick and everybody's so good. And in this league, it doesn't matter the record. Anybody can beat anybody. So yeah.
Similar.
Yeah, I mean, besides my actual welcome to the league moment, I would say I didn't think about it, but what you said is very, very true. Like, I remember, I think I was talking to Kiki and Georgia about it, and I was like, winning and losing is really weird in the W, because I would think that it was different because it's like your livelihood, your job, like if you, but in college, like when you lost, it was like the worst thing in the world. Like somebody's dog had passed away. Yeah, like it was
somebody's dog passed away.
Yes, like it was so sad. Like coming into the facility, I was like,
Debbie Downers
what
everywhere.
happened? Yeah. And here it's like you said, we lost. Okay, but we play.
You gotta do
whatever tomorrow. So it's it's just not as big of a thing, especially because we are playing in the best league in the world. So the coaches understand it happens. Like you are playing against the best players in the world. So it is what it is.
No, it is an adjustment though.
Yeah.
You just brought up Georgia, so I want to touch on her real fast. How's she doing?
Good.
She's doing well.
Yeah.
I was really, I think everybody was bummed when she got hurt, but I'm point guard biased. I was really excited to see how she was going to do. So exciting in college. So what was it like in those early days of training camp playing with her? And I don't know, because it's like Shug and Jade are doing their thing at the point guard spot. But what do you think maybe next year? How do you think Georgia will fit in based on what you saw in training camp?
Yeah, I think before we even get there, Georgia is a coach on the sidelines.
Okay.
So I feel like that's really going to benefit her next year, because she's able to see things that we're doing well, things that can be better. And she's always talking to me I see you running the floor, or talking to the point guards, look at this. So I feel like in that regard is going to really help her, just being able to see everything from a distance. But even in training camp, she is Energizer Bunny, has the best energy. She's always about the team first, really a point guard, even in her life, always about how can I help other people. But she was great vibes, always pushing the pace, super, super fast. But yeah, I feel like she just kept the energy going at all times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, just so bummed.
Yeah.
You both have kind of talked about, yes, Coach Johnson, of course, because he's the voice. But I know from a player development standpoint, your coaches have really invested in you, worked with you. So first of all, which coaches are you working with the most?
I work with Clinton Kraut.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I work with Barb Turner.
You work with Barb?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Barb and I played together here in Seattle. Yep.
That's fire.
Obviously, she went to UConn, but I didn't play with her there. Okay, so with Clinton, what's it like having this player development coach that's focused on you? Of course, other players too, but focused on you. And what do you think you have already added to your game from some of your workouts with him?
Yeah, well, he's amazing. I think I would not be where I am right now without him. I think so we do every day, basically. We have a daily vitamin, and I'll watch film with him, and then we'll do 30 minutes of shooting, but not obviously, with the schedule we have, I'm not really running or breaking a sweat, but it's just he'll say it's just little things like this where if you do this every day, it's going to start adding up.
Marginal gains.
Yes. Yeah. It's going to start adding up, and you're going to see the difference in the game. And it's just he'll teach me again, he was one of the ones that really helped me learn and figure out how to get open, or how to use screens, or how to stop, go, stop. So little things like that don't seem big, but really make a difference. And then just adding little moves, so he'll see what I like to do in the game, and he'll be okay, so you already do this without realizing it. So now we're going to add a counter, or now we're going to add just little things to help me be better, honestly. And then he's also the best just in terms of helping my mental. When I get frustrated, or when I can't make a shot, or I have a bad game, he's the first one to be there's no bad, he told me, he told me in the beginning, there's no such thing as a bad game, because if you were good on defense, if you were a good teammate, if you were good at communicating, those are all controllable. So you can do that every game. So you can't really quantify a good or a bad game just because you couldn't make shots, because it's not all about points, as we know. But he's just the first one to be stop, you're good. Stop caring so much.
Okay.
So
well, it's working. You're the youngest player to record back-to-back 20-point games in the last decade. Hey. Which brings me to you, Kiki. You're working with Barb. What is BT teaching you?
Oh my gosh. She is great for me, and just transitioning to the W when I had so many things in my head about how would I perform here, and just her having so much confidence and belief in me when I didn't really have it in myself. So I feel us working together happened at the perfect time. But I'm a little bit opposite from Sony. Like, I feel like I need to break a sweat, like, when I'm working with her. And I feel like that's something that I'm learning is, like, you don't always have to do that.
Yeah. Less can be more.
Exactly, to get something out of it. So that's something that BT's teaching me, that sometimes you don't have to go so hard and just kind of work on the little details. But with her, it's like before every game, watching film on who's going to be guarding me, how are they going to guard me. Scoring might look differently versus the team that we're playing, which I think is the biggest difference from college, because I'm like, I could just do this every time against whoever I want.
Yeah.
But here it's like I have taller defenders, maybe smaller, but they move more like guards, or somebody that's stronger than me, I have to get around them. So just understanding what ways I might be able to score that night. And then defensively, I feel like she's challenged me a lot to like not play in that drop and really to be up and be disruptive on defense. But she's been someone that's been good for me just in terms of mental and then just getting better on defense. And she's the one who honestly told me like slow is pro. Like once you can really get that, like the sky's the limit for you.
Yeah. What about the vets in your locker room? We've already mentioned Slim. You've got Steph in there.
She's great. Steph has been.
I love Steph.
She's been
Steph
tremendous.
did me dirty one year.
Really?
Yeah, 2022. I was on her hard to come here. She ended up choosing New York. I was very upset about that, but I have so much love for Steph. I loved playing with Steph with USA Basketball.
Yeah.
So she's just so easy to play with.
She's great. And just playing in the post position, like during training camp, I'm having to guard Steph. And she's literally, as I'm guarding her, is like, guard me this way so you can take it away. And I feel like that's the humility aspect. But we call her Big Mama. She's like the mama of the locker room for us. And even during games, she's always talking to me, helping me out, seeing different things. So just like another coach for me too.
Yeah. You guys, I feel like you guys are really, in a really impressive way, like grounded in the idea of there's going to be highs and lows and you can't get caught in, but that feels like individual. I'm curious, when you guys are together as a group, is that the mentality of the team also? Because it's interesting, like you're 11th and you're having a great season, but it's like you're 11th in offensive rating as a team. You're 7th in defensive rating. You are in the final playoff spot, which is, I'm sure, a goal for you guys to make the playoffs. So you're 500. It's like there's some good, there's some bad. And I'm curious, like as a group, are you able to, do you all have that mentality?
I think so. I think our vets, like especially Steph, like after a bad loss, when we huddle, like she's the first one to say, you know what, like, yeah, that sucked, but it's okay. We're going to get back after it. We'll be good. Like, let's focus on the next game and get it back. Like, she's the first one to just be like, all right, let's not get too low. Like, yeah, we just lost by whatever, but we're fine. And then like, we'll come back the next game and then win, you know? So I think we do have the same mentality, just knowing that, again, this league is, there's so many good teams that there's going to be highs and lows, but just staying consistent and knowing what we can do. And when we play how we want to play, like we can beat anybody. So
yeah, I know. I mean, it is a tough league, which kind of brings us to some of the competition you faced. I'm gonna start with defense. Who's been the hardest to guard? Just difficult.
Yeah, I know. I asked you this yesterday. Yeah.
Where you're like, dang, that was hard.
Stewie. Like she can score at all three levels, and like she's so methodical. Like she doesn't. Like, that's really the person I'm talking about when I say the IQ level is like, even if I try to take away the three, she's going to get to the basket. If I stay too far out, she's going to hit the three. So I feel like that was a matchup that was tough. And we played them twice. And I would say, I don't even think she really tried hard. And she still had like 20 points.
That's just Stewie.
Just effortless.
That's how she makes it look. Yeah. This actually is like, I'm getting the warm fuzzies because Stewie was a rookie in Seattle towards the end of my career. So it's fun to like, see her grow in those ways and hear you talk about her in that way. So it's really cool. All right, who you got?
I think I would say Sabrina the first time we played New York.
She doesn't stop.
Yeah, she definitely burned me a couple of times just because I tried to, I think she was back screening you and I tried to hit Stewie a little bit. Couldn't do that because she got the wide open three. Like just things like that where it's like, she makes you pay. Or like I think I tagged on a roller and I
that
didn't
might be
start
one you don't
there.
tag. Yeah, that might be one you don't leave.
Yeah, just things like that. Like I had to be smarter and I wasn't, and she definitely got the best of me that game.
Okay. Who's been hard to go against, like when they guard you? Any tough defenders out there?
Just trying to think who we've played.
You're like, no, I'm good.
I think Aaliyah Boston was tough the first time we played. I think it was our first ever game in the preseason, just because she's so physical and strong. So I'm trying to back her down, and I wasn't getting anywhere really. So I think that's when I really learned like different matchups, different nights. I'm gonna have to score differently, maybe facing up more versus backing down. But she was a tough one for sure.
How about this? I'll switch it up for you. You said recently that Niall, when they were recruiting you, was like, oh, like I see a lot of Jackie Young in you, right? So what was it like to then play her in the WNBA?
It was really cool. Definitely like a full circle moment. Because I remember when I first visited Notre Dame, like they showed me like a highlight video of Jackie and was like, we think that this is a really good comparison. Like this could be you at Notre Dame. And I was like, I felt really honored because obviously Jackie is very, very good player. So I was like, wow, like they think highly of me. This is really cool. And then getting to play her, definitely a challenge, but it was, again, just, I think it's really cool because I've been watching her for so long. And to now say that, like, we're in the same league, I'm playing against her, I have to guard her. It's just, again, just full circle.
Yeah, you got, I think it was like one of the early possessions. You got an and one on her. That must have felt nice. You looked like you were smiling. I don't know if that was why. But it is always fun going against like players who went to your college that you didn't play with, but you obviously heard their name like time and time again because it's like that's how programs are. You know, you're always reminded of what came before in a really wonderful way. So it's always cool to see them in the league and then go against them. It's kind of, like you said, full circle moment. All right, we've arrived. It's almost halfway through the season, which means it's almost All-Star break. You two have been selected as reserves for the All-Star team, so congratulations on that. Being an All-Star as a rookie is like, it's to me, it's like very impressive, but it's something that you'll always be able to like look back on and like, man, right from the start, I was able to make this All-Star team. But it also can like change your expectations a little bit for yourself, for the future. So first of all, Kiki, like, were you expecting to be an All-Star this year? Was that a goal? And has it shifted kind of like, how you look at yourself a little bit?
Definitely was not expecting this at all. Like, I was going to be an All-Star anyway, just for like brand obligations, but I was not expecting to be an All-Star. And then I saw I was like in top 10 of fan votes and I was like, what the heck? Like, this is crazy. And it wasn't until Kathy called me and like let me know. And I was like, there's no way. I think for me, it was really validating just to know that I'm on track to do things that I want to do, and not that I've made it, but just like I'm being recognized and being seen. And then to know I was more excited that Sonia got picked than I was about myself. But to be able to do it with like my teammate, someone that I really care about, I think is the most exciting part of all of this. But definitely was not expecting this at all.
You happy about your team?
I'm glad I'm with Sonia. Yes.
Yeah, you guys can do it together.
Yes.
Is there anybody you're like looking forward to playing against? Have you guys played every team yet in the league?
We haven't played Seattle or LA. Yeah.
Okay.
Are those the only two teams?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So Kathy did call you. I mean, I saw your story. Yeah. That's nuts.
Yeah, she called me
like, yeah, that's nuts. But Kiki, you were at All-Star in Phoenix.
Yeah,
So you were like expecting what? Like brands, parties, chill?
Yeah, so I'm gonna chill. Yeah. My teammates, I'll support them, just vibe, and now I'll be playing.
That's amazing. What about you? In terms of like the expectation?
Yeah, I definitely had no expectation whatsoever of being an All-Star. And then the fan votes came out and I was like, yeah, no, definitely not. Like, just not my year. And then obviously I got the DM and all that. And I was like, what the heck is like, this can't be true. It must have been like meant to call somebody. I don't know. But then our GM told me after the game, because I was like, wait, okay, I got this message. Like, is this true? And she was like, yes, it is.
Well, I mean, you don't have to go like, I can actually just tell it really fast. Yeah, so Kathy called Gabby Williams, given the wrong number, thought it was you, called Gabby Williams, left a message saying, congrats, Sonia, you're an All-Star. Gabby then DM'd you, screenshotted like the transcript of it. So that's how you found out, was via a voicemail transcript. Okay. Just for the people in the back.
But definitely, again, was not expecting it. But I mean, it's really cool to be able to say that. I mean, we are All-Stars, and again, like Kiki said, to be able to do it with her is just, I mean, it's going to be a really cool experience.
Yeah, it's similar. It's similar to the draft, Not the events themselves, and obviously All-Star's a weekend, whereas draft is one day. But you know how you said it's like controlled chaos? It's very similar to that. Okay. You're going to be like over here, over there, changing your outfit, doing your hair fast, trying to get ready, trying to look nice, trying to look cute, orange carpet, then you're back, then you're at a party, then you have to wake up the next day and go to a practice and uniform, with new teammates, hey, what's up? And it's like constant. And then when you finally get to the game, that's when you can kind of like exhale and just have fun. Okay. And just go out there and play. But everything else can be pulling you around all over the place. But it is really enjoyable. And you do get to spend time with players that you might not have been able to, especially like on your team. You don't see the other team as much, but on your team, you get to kick it. So like enjoy that because you don't always get the chance to. Sonia, 3-point contest.
Yeah.
What made you do that?
I don't know.
I love that you're doing it. I've done it a couple of times. I have had some decent showings and I had one epic failure. And I live to see another day. Yeah. So, like, don't overthink it.
I'm definitely stressed about it. Yeah, I mean, they asked, and I was like, this is going to give me a lot of anxiety, but it's going to be a really cool experience. And I would rather do it than not do it and regret, like, oh, what if, you know? So, yeah, I'm definitely very nervous about it. But, I mean, like you said, I'm just going to go out. Hopefully, I don't break every shot, and maybe I'll win. Maybe not. I don't know.
I'm telling you, one year, I don't remember the year, I got to the finals. I think I lost to Becky Hammond. And then the All-Star game was in Seattle, the one and only time. So, you know, like hometown kid in a sense. So I was like, yeah, I'll do the 3-point contest. Oh, it was, I think it might have been the lowest score of all time. I'm not even joking. Really? Yeah, by the third rack, I was like asking fans if they would just want to come out and shoot it. Like I had no shot. So I'm telling you.
Hopefully I don't break that record.
Yeah. But even if you did, things can be okay. They can still be okay for you. All right. So now that you guys are kind of like settled in a little bit, I don't want to get like too far ahead, but I am curious, right, about what you're already recognizing as things you want to add or things you want to get better at in the off season. I feel like you wouldn't be going through a season if you didn't have some sort of like mental note of those parts of your game. So Kiki, like what are you already thinking like, oh, in the off season, I need to do this, I need to do that?
My 3-point shot.
Okay.
Like that is something, just being able to stretch the floor. And like right now we're playing with 2 like very ball dominant bigs, but being able to open the floor a lot more and teams can't sag off of me and double the other post player, I think will just open a lot of things up for our offense and make it harder for people to guard me. And then I think the second thing would just be handling the ball better. Like not necessarily that I need to like come up the floor and do all these moves, but just be able to change direction a little bit better, handle the ball, get to the basket. But yeah, I feel like those are the 2 things that I'm like, I wish I had it right now because it would make certain things a lot easier now that teams are scouting us.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say the first thing is definitely get my weight up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not too far up though.
No, not even weight up. Get my muscle up.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't need to gain weight, but I just want to be stronger. I mean, when you see the people that I'm playing against, like Jackie, Jewel, like, wow, okay, yeah. I have some work to do. But yeah, I definitely want to do that. But then basketball-wise, it's kind of hard because I feel like I can get better at so much that it's like hard to pinpoint exactly what. But I would say like shooting off the dribble, like being able to shoot threes just off the dribble more comfortably. Better, tighter handle for sure, just so I feel more comfortable creating for myself, creating for others. Yeah, I'd say those 2 for now, but definitely I feel like there's so much.
Yeah. No, I think both of you, and that's like a great problem to have. Both of you have, your foundation is like, so, I don't know, you just have like such a versatility to your games where you can kind of pick and choose as you go and start to add and start to see. And it's kind of exciting to be this young and know you're already all-stars, but know you have so much ahead of you. I'm like I said, I'm really excited to watch you guys play tomorrow. And I know you got to get lifting. So I'm going to finish with one last question. I kind of asked all my guests this. When this season's all said and done, when you look back for yourself, so like individually there's an answer, and then as a team, like what you'll look back and be like, that was a success.
Yeah. I would say I think as a team, make the playoffs and go as far as we can. And then for myself, I would say coming into the year, I wanted to just embrace everything. So if at the end of the year I can say that, yeah, there were highs and lows, but throughout it all, like I did the best that I could. I worked hard. I was a good teammate and I embraced everything, and I can say that I'm a better player now than I was when I started. I would be happy.
Okay.
Yeah, I would steal the second part, just making sure like I'm a better player at the end of the season than I was at the beginning. But I think truly I'm my best when I play with joy. So if I can reflect on the season and be like, even through the highs and the lows, I found a way to have joy, like that would be a successful rookie season for me.
Okay. And then same for playoffs.
Of course.
Right.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
All right, Sonia, Kiki, thank you for coming on. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
I hope you lose. Just kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding.
Thank you.
So like I said in the intro, I was really excited for this interview because coming in, I could already sense that these were two kids who had a maturity about them that went beyond their years. And I think what was fun to discover is that they don't even really see themselves that way. They don't even really grasp or understand it just yet. And what was cool is that I think that speaks to their humility, but it also shows an eagerness to get better and not just focus on what's going right for them right now. And I could feel how much they want and are willing to learn and to work, and they are not satisfied. And that is the fun part, right? They're already making a mark, even though they're just getting started. And I also thought it was really interesting to hear them talk about how flying under the radar kind of allowed them to find their way and ease their way into this league. They didn't know each other prior, even though there was a couple close calls. They didn't know each other prior, but it seems like it was just in the cards for them to team up. And now they have each other to lean on as they go through their careers. And I really enjoyed chatting with them, and I hope you guys enjoy listening. See you next week. This episode is a co-production of Together and Vox Media. Our producers are Tommy Alter, Jason Gallagher, Richie Bozek, Harry Krinsky, Jess Clarendon, and Melanie Carter. And a special thanks to Ramon Dampour.